Okay, so we'll make a start. As I just said, we are going to just get a bit of an overview of the course, and then if there's any questions that you'd like to ask, we'll take those afterwards. So, as you know, my name's Mrs. Taylor. I'm head of drama at St Ambrose College. I'm really sorry that we can't be there in person this evening. We did have a performance that the A-level students had created. They were really hoping to perform for you this evening, but as it's turned out, it's not to be. But I hope tonight you're going to get a bit of an insight into what to expect for A-level drama. So, the course that we offer is called A-level Drama and Theatre. So already probably is a bit of a clue as to this being a little bit different to GCSE. It is by the same exam board as GCSE drama, so it's AQA. On first appearance, there are lots of similarities between GCSE and A-level drama. They're both advertised as 60% practical and 40% written examination, and they both feature scripted and devised work. They both require students to evaluate live theatre and study set plays. However, drama at A-level does offer a much higher level of challenge for students. I think it would be naive to think that you can get an A-level in the same thing you've already done for GCSE. So what you will do is you'll gain a deeper and a broader understanding of theatre and the full process involved in creating productions. You'll develop your practical skills and your drama expertise to a much higher level. You'll analyse and evaluate the work of influential theatre practitioners, be it theatre companies or directors, and you need to be able to show that you can replicate their style to achieve similar intentions. So this is a little bit different. At the moment, we're doing devised work, and really you have complete free rein over whatever it is that you want to do. But at A-level, we need to show a deeper understanding of how theatre practitioners work, some of the best throughout history, and show that we can try to achieve similar intentions. So it's a deeper and more intense way of working, and it can even be seen in the way that you're going to study your set texts. So here you're going to develop expertise not just as an actor, but also as a director and designer. So when we're studying a play, you'll be directing other people in that. You'll be designing for the stage, and you'll also be acting. So the course is split into 3 areas. Component 1 is a 3-hour written exam, and it's worth 40% of the course. Now, before you have any worries about doing a 3-hour exam, we do build up to this, and they are essay style questions. In this, you will be studying basically 2 plays. The first is one of my all-time favourite plays. It's called Our Country's Good. It is a fantastic play. It's set in the 18th century, and it tells the story of a group of convicts who are kicked out of England, transported to Australia, and during that time, they experience real difficulties. But they end up putting on a play to celebrate the King's birthday, and in doing that, it reforms them. It gives them a sense of purpose. It brings them together as a community, and it is a brilliant example of the power of theatre. So one of my absolute favourite plays, Our Country's Good. When we're studying this play, even though this is the bit that we say is 40% written exam, we're up on our feet. You're directing each other. You will be acting in that. You'll be designing the set for it. So students in Upper Six currently, they created their own model boxes for the set design for Our Country's Good. So you'll always try to approach things in a practical way. When we do learn about this play, we learn about the social, historical and political context, and you get the opportunity to question your own ideas towards crime and punishment. Lessons, as I say, are practical, reading a scene, directing it, performing it, and then we tend to then afterwards record some of our decisions, and that becomes really useful notes to revise from, or annotating the text to revise from for the exam. And then the same method of study is used for Hedda Gabler, which is our other play. Brilliant play. Anyone who is lucky enough to get the role of Hedda Gabler in a production, it is like the female equivalent of Hamlet. But once again, this is a play where we will be up on our feet, trying out, acting, directing, designing, and watching productions of it too. And then we also study live theatre productions. So the other part of this 3-hour exam, so we write about the play Our Country's Good, we write about the play Hedda Gabler. Each of those answers that you're doing as essays are from those different perspectives: directing, designing, acting. And then that third area is writing about a show that we've seen. So this is very similar to when you have done visiting the theatre and you've done live productions at GCSE. But the biggest difference now it's A level is that you need to show a much more of an understanding about how the production team have worked together. How did the lighting enhance a moment? How did the sound? What was the director's intention? How far was that achieved? So once again, it is at that advanced level. We've recently been watching the Old Vics performance of Yerma with Billie Piper in the main role. And so we look at the likes of how Simon Stone, the director, really reinvented this show. And, you know, it went on to win many awards due to its success. So we try and see a broad range of performances, and at A level I would really hope that we are going to be back on course for doing a residential trip to London and getting to see as much different styles of theatre in different places as possible. And workshops with actors and directors. You know, we've not had the opportunity due to COVID at the moment, but hopefully all that will be in place. The next part of the exam is called Component 2, and this is creating original drama. It's basically devising, just like what we have been doing at GCSE. But the big difference is, rather than just creating anything you want, any devised performance, we look at theatre practitioners, people who have been really well known for the work that they've created, and we devise in their style. So, for example, if we were trying to do a piece that was showing the influence of Frantic Assembly, it would need to have all the signature characteristics of their work in it. And this is filmed, it's marked by me, and it's moderated by AQA. And you have a notebook that goes alongside it, just showing how you made this performance. You can be assessed in this area of the exam as a performer or a lighting designer, a sound designer, a set designer, costume designer, puppet designer, or a director. So there's lots of different roles there. You've got the option to be kind of flexible and choose what suits you. You can even design for makeup, hair, and masks or props. So there's lots and lots of opportunities. And then the final area is called making theatre, and that's 30%. And this is basically like scripted performance. You'll study 3 plays, they'll be from different time periods, different styles. And the final one of those you will show to an examiner that comes into school. They'll see your performance and they'll mark it live. And then you will also have a reflective report, which kind of talks about your process and how you found each of those different performances that you created. Again, you have to apply the methodology of a different theatre practitioner. So we need to see that signature of them in the scripted piece. And once again, you can be assessed in any of those different options that I mentioned previously. So performing, designing, or even directing as well. I'd say with A level that students often say to me they feel most challenged in this subject. You know, they're not spoon-fed correct answers to remember for an exam. Intellectually and creatively, you will be making your own decisions, coming up with your own ideas, and generally kind of becoming much more independent, which is exactly what people will want for any university course that you might want to go on to do. Drama definitely is a subject that gives you those highly transferable and desirable skills. So coming up with your own ideas and opinions, being able to creatively evaluate outcomes, lead a team, manage a project, problem solve, think creatively, communicate well with others, work with self-discipline and empathy really independently. I don't know of any course or employer that wouldn't want those skills. I mean, I have had students in the past go on to study drama at university and at drama schools, and courses related to that too, things like costume design. But a lot of students don't necessarily go on to do that. They might look at law and think about those communication skills that are going to be so desirable if you were applying to things like law. They might be going on to study maths, history. We've had students in the past go on to be architects, teaching, medicine, science, a whole range of different things, because it's the skills that you're developing that make it so transferable and broad. I hope that really gives you a bit more of an idea of the course, but if you've got any questions, I'm going to pop my camera on now so you can see me to be able to respond to, and obviously, you know, feel free to ask anything that you want to know. There we go. It's a bit distracting otherwise. So I can see, Chris, you've joined us as well, which is fab. But if anyone has any questions about the course or anything you feel you'd like to know, feel free. This is a great opportunity now. Have I sent you all asleep? Oh dear. Okay, if you don't have any questions, there is the chance that if you would prefer, you can email me. I'm just going to whiz through this presentation here, and I will email back to you, or you can speak to me during lessons as well. But I've got my email address at the end here, and the other good thing to do would be to make sure that you're following us on Twitter, because all of the latest updates are on there. So on the screen, you can see there is my email address. I'm just going to check. I think something just popped up there on the chat. Okay, so do we get good numbers at A level to be able to achieve what you need for the examining boards? That's a great question. The numbers tend to fluctuate from year to year. So the first year that I joined the school, there was nobody doing A level in upper six or lower six. We then got 6 students the following year. And then this year we've got 3 students who've joined us. So again, you know, it kind of just goes a little bit up and down. The numbers are nicely low, so that if we get a nice group together, you know, they can really work well together and support each other. And having a small group like that means they get really concentrated attention. The other great thing is the amount of lessons that you get at A level. So my A level group currently have a lesson every day apart from one. Over the 2-week timetable, and they also get a double lesson, which is brilliant when we're doing practical work and we kind of get stuck. We're just at a point and we think, we wish we had a bit more time, so that's been really useful. And I'm an examiner for AQA, and so my role is as team leader for the A level. So I'm used to going into the different schools and kind of knowing what the exam boards want. Do feel free to unmute if you would like to ask anything individually. Thank you. And also, if you feel like you've got enough information and I've answered all your questions, feel free to leave whenever you want to as well. I'm really pleased that you joined us this evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much.